Okay, welcome to week 5 of the project Barbara's Loaded. This week we're going to be looking at probability and Venn diagrams. Okay, so let's dive in. So this first lesson is all about probability and it's an introduction to probability. So obvious question, what is probability? Well, probability measures the chance that something will happen. Okay, so it's all about chance. How likely is it that something is going to happen? So, for example, um, what is the probability of winning the lottery? That just means what are the chances of winning the lottery? Now, probability is always given as a number between 0 and 1. So, 0 would be something that's impossible, and 1 would be something that is certain. And all probabilities will lie somewhere on that scale. So you're impossible, or you're definitely going to happen, or you're going to be somewhere in between. And that's what probability measures. Where between 0 and 1 does that thing lie? So here are some examples. What is the probability of winning the lottery? What is the probability of going viral on TikTok? We use probability a lot in business. So, for example, if you own a factory, you might be interested in the probability of your machine having a defect or creating a defective product. So, that's something you'd really care about if you were in charge of some machinery. Or again, in the sort of healthcare realm, if you're developing a new drug, what you're interested in is what is the probability that this drug's going to work. Um, you know, you can assess whether a drug is useful and is doing its job based on probabilities. So again, all that to come. So let's just have a look at a problem then. Here we've got a question: which of the following things is unlikely? And again, we've got 4 different options there. So the first one is flipping a coin and getting tails. So when you flip a coin, you've got a 50-50 chance of getting heads or tails. So the probability of getting of getting tails. So I'm just going to, and this is how we would write this. We'd write p tails. Okay, that's just how we say. That's just a shorthand of saying what is the probability of getting tails. It's about a half. Well, it is. It's a half in this case. It's 50-50. So it's not likely. It's not unlikely. It's just even. It's got an even chance of happening. The next statement is rolling a standard dice and getting a 4. Okay, so on a standard dice, there are 6 different numbers, and one of those numbers is a 4. So there is a 1 in 6 chance of getting a 4. Okay, so this would be the probability of getting a 4. Now that is unlikely. It's not impossible, but it's more likely to not happen than to happen. So we'd say that this thing here is unlikely. Rolling a standard dice and getting a 7. So if you think about a dice, there's only 6 different numbers on it, and seven's not one of them. You've got the numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. 7 is not one of them. So rolling a 7 is impossible. So the probability of getting a 7 is impossible. It's 0. So it's not unlikely, it's impossible. Uh, what about having the same birthday as the next person you meet? Well, that's very unlikely. Okay, so that is unlikely because the next person you meet probably doesn't have the same birthday as you. They might do, so it's possible, but it's not likely. Okay, let's put birth. Okay, so here's a different problem. Noah and Rebecca are working on a probability question. Rebecca says that the probability is 0.7, whereas Noah says the probability is 1.5. One student is definitely incorrect. Who is it who is incorrect? So if you remember what I said, probability is measured on a scale of 0 to 1. So Rebecca's saying that the probability of this thing happening is 0.7. Noah's saying it's 1.5, but that's not possible. because probability is only measured between 0 to 1, okay? So 1.5 would not be a probability, so Noah is definitely wrong. So if you ever get an answer to a problem that is bigger than 1, you know you've gone wrong somewhere. Okay, so I want you to try this one. And just below this video, a question will appear. Okay, so hopefully you've got the answer there as being, so which of the following is likely? Well, this is even, so it's not likely. Getting a 6 is unlikely. Rolling a standard dice and getting a number greater than 2, well, that would be the numbers 3, 4, 5, and 6. So actually, you are quite likely to get one of those when you roll a dice. And flipping a coin 10 times and getting heads at least once, again, that's very likely to happen. If you keep flipping a coin over and over, you're probably going to have it land on heads, assuming that this is a fair, unbiased coin. So, in other words, a normal coin that's not a trick coin. Okay, so let's have a look at some simple probability questions. So, the probability of an event can be found using this equation. So an event is just the thing that we're talking about. You know, an event would be getting a heads on a coin or rolling a 6, something like that. It's the number of successful outcomes divided by the total number of outcomes. So it's probably easier just to see that as an example. Here are some coins in a wallet. We choose one coin at random. What is the probability of getting a £2 coin? So a successful outcome would be the £2 coin. So how many £2 coins are there? There are two. But what's the total number of outcomes? How many different coins are there? How many coins are there in the wallet? There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So the probability of getting a £2 coin is 2 out of 7. The two £2 coins out of the 7 coins. Okay, here's a different problem. Kieran rolls a dice. What is the probability that he rolls a 5? Okay, so the successful outcomes would be how many 5s are there on a dice? Well, there is just the one. And the total number of outcomes would be how many numbers are there on a dice? There are 6. So our answer is going to be 1 over 6, one option out of 6 possible outcomes. So again, this answer would be 1/6. So I want you to have a go at this one. Here are some coins in the wallet. One coin is chosen at random. What is the probability of getting a copper coin? So one of the brown coloured coins. Okay, so if we have a look, there are 2 copper coins out of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, out of 7 coins in total. So your answer should be 2/7.